voice of Long Beach, the one and only, Halftime Howie!
Excellent. Welcome to another edition of Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie. We're going to start with a great panel focusing around the Miss New York Senior America. And to my right is, she runs our great segment, the Sensational Senior segment. She is the one and only Mary Malloy.
Thank you. Well, the segment today is going to be, we do a variety of topics, and we call it senior, 50 and up, whatever you want to call yourself, but it's...
Wait a second.
What?
Mary was not with us last Sunday because, let's get a close-up of this.
It's upside down.
Let's get a close-up of this. This is why Mary was not with us last Sunday. Because the pageant was being held, the Miss New York Senior America pageant, at the Madison Theater in Rockville Center, and I brought a contingent of 10 people, and it was an amazing pageant, and we all had an amazing time, so go take it away, Mary.
Okay.
I just had to throw that in.
No, it was great. Actually, next week we will have the Queen, 2018 Miss New York Senior America Queen on, and hopefully most of her court, and they'll be here talking to you about their experience. So that's going to be fun. Right now they're all resting. It's very, very daunting to be in the pageant, and you know, with the talent, and so they're all somewhere recuperating from it. Usually with the Sensational Senior segment, we do something that's inspirational, that's fun, with the older population, especially to let people know we are here and we're not going anywhere, and we're a vital part of the population, and we just do good things. There's great things. We do things to enrich ourselves and to enrich those around us. And in that light, today we're talking about volunteering, volunteerism. We have some great people on the panel that have not only been doing this as seniors, but doing this for many, many, many years. And I can tell you right now, with just talking to them so far, that they're doing it out of love for what they do and the goodness of their heart. Our first guest is Lou Cesario. Lou was a volunteer director at the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens for 25 years. He was an American volunteer with the American Volunteer Association, the New York chapter, and also taught classes on volunteering. I didn't know there was such a thing, so you'll have to tell us about that. You know, we think you just go and, you know, tell us what to do and you do it. But I guess you have to go with rules and regulations. So we want to talk about that. So if you want to tell us a little bit about what you did for those 25 years and what it entails to volunteer at the Botanic Gardens.
Thank you, and thank you, Howie and Mary, for inviting me here today. Volunteering, as I've learned over the years, is a very important part of people's lives. And the message for me today isn't so much about whether or not you wanted to volunteer at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden or anywhere else, but the message is about volunteering. As a senior retires from working and often not sure how to fill up their day, and some folks might be bored, and some folks might miss the day-to-day working component, and maybe they don't want to work, but volunteering really fills a part of that life. And not so when you're volunteering for an organization, whether it's a big organization like United Way or Habitat for Humanity or your local soup kitchen, it's such an important part of your life. It also adds a social component for seniors. often with a senior, especially if they're by themselves and living by themselves, they don't have those opportunities anymore to maybe meet new friends and socialize. And when you volunteer in an organization, often that gives you that opportunity once again to be part of a community, to have a purpose, and then actually volunteering and helping an organization in whatever. It really isn't, you know, from you know, I volunteered many years as a little league coach and a basketball coach and a program coordinator, and then ultimately at the Botanic Garden volunteering with. I love gardening. I love plants, so it was a natural fit for me to run their volunteer program. But it really is a two-way street. You know, you as a volunteer get back from the organization, and certainly the organization gets back from you. One of the things that comes to mind about volunteering is a quote from Helen Keller, and basically, to paraphrase her, is alone there's not much we can do. Together, we can do anything. So just get out there and volunteer. And if you're searching, where do you go? I'm a senior. I just retired. What do I do? You know, so you go on the internet. There are so many, so many. AALP, which a lot of seniors are very familiar with, has a whole volunteer program that you can jump onto any of their programs. Right here in Long Island, there's a Long Island Volunteer Action Center where you can go online, put in the geographic location of where you live, put in your interests, and boom, you get some information on this might work for you. So if you're a senior and maybe you're a little bit lonely and maybe you don't have a lot of things to fill your life, volunteering is the answer. It helps you and it helps the organization that you're volunteering with.
That's great.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have another question for you.
Sure.
Do you think how to go about it? If somebody wants to volunteer, should they go for something that they have an affinity for, or just, are there people who just want to volunteer to give of themselves and give of their time? And as we'll see in a moment, some people just have a cause and they find a way to volunteer for that cause or that love.
Sure.
So either way, they can come at it from.
Well, not only that, but the funny thing is, some folks who volunteer, let's say you were a professional lawyer your entire life, and you can actually volunteer and do legal aid, but maybe you're tired of that. You spent 50 years being a lawyer. Maybe all you want to write, maybe what you want to do right now is help animals, so or people. And so yes, you can either take your life experiences and volunteer in an organization that will take it, can use that, or you finally, after working, can say, I've always wanted to learn whatever. I wanted to learn how to garden. I wanted to learn how to take care of animals. I wanted to learn how to best serve my community. So whether you use the experience that you have throughout your entire life, or you take the opportunity as a volunteer to learn something new for yourself, either way is the way to go. And and as a senior myself and volunteering, it's important to volunteer in a place that you feel comfortable with. Often geographics play I don't want to volunteer somewhere where I have to commute 2 hours each day. So look in your own neighborhoods and you will be surprised just how many opportunities there are probably just within your own town. So whatever way you choose to do it, volunteering really is an important part of what we do. When you think here in Long Island, volunteer firemen, I grew up in that family and in that environment, and it is obviously maybe not the best situation for seniors, but volunteering is essential in your community. So absolutely do it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming. And I think you have inspired people who want to do something or want to do something with their lives or want to help a specific cause and try to find a way to do that. To Howie's left, we have Deb Wanchuk, who is president and founder of Give Me Shelter Project. and Sue Greco, who's a volunteer there, and I know at a few other entities as well. And these, it's animal rescue. Is that what it is? I'll have her explain a little bit more. But this is a case of people who, I don't know, you can tell me some of your history, but I'm sure had this love and devotion to animals and found a way to not only volunteer themselves, but get other people like themselves to rally around and help the animals. So tell us a little bit about the organization and how you found it, how you got started.
That's a long story.
That's okay.
Give Me Shelter Project is a animal rescue, education, and advocacy group. We don't have a shelter. We are foster based. We're primarily cats. We have animals that live at PetSmarts in various locations and Pet Values, and we do adoption events, and all the rest of our cats are in foster homes. The way I got started was just as many of us do who end up having organizations. We start off as individual rescuers, independent rescuers, and it kind of morphs. I got involved with Hoarder House, which many people do. You find somebody just falls in your lap, they're hoarders, and it's, oh my God, we have to get them out, how are we going to do this? And people rally around. In terms of volunteering, what I'd like to add to this is if there are so many, within one organization, there are so many ways to volunteer. If for us, if you, certainly, people would think, oh, I need to scoop litter. Sure, if you want to, but there's also just petting the cats. We have animals that need socializing. We need somebody to come pet them all day. We need people who feel like driving and transporting. We have food that we want to get to various people. We might have a cat that has to go to the vet. We need people who have administrative skills. We need flyers and posters and photographs, and we need fundraising. And fundraising can be anywhere from a big fundraiser to little things where putting fundraiser boxes in donation boxes, to going to various businesses and asking them, would you donate a gift certificate to us so we can raffle it off? So many ways of volunteering that if you don't have to just pick one thing and just assume. You can call the organization and find out what all the various ways are. Yes, doing laundry.
And people can bring different skills to this, like you said, if they know not just about animals, but driving, or do you also see seniors volunteering at your organization? And right after that, if we could ask, because you said there's so many jobs, Sue, if you could tell us what you do specifically for this organization, and also tell us what else you do, because this is I know this is a love of yours, and I know that you got your hands or your paws in
my claws
in a lot of other entities.
Okay, well, with Cat Rescue, I adopted my kitty cat, my Minnie, and I fell in love with her, and my husband and I just, that was the end for us. So that was a different group at the time, so I said, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
I'm a photographer, maybe I could take pictures for you. That would be great. So yes, having a professional picture of an animal makes all the difference in the world sometimes. So that was 10 years ago, 11 years ago. So I'm with Deb now. We do the fundraising, and we're going to do a big fundraiser is going to be coming up in the fall, so stay tuned for that. But like she said, we need.
Yeah, do you have information now about that?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. We will. We know who to go to when we're not ready.
Okay.
But we, yes, as Deb said, there's so many opportunities. We have PetSmart in Valley Stream, which is a local area. People do come in. We love the seniors because the seniors can work anytime. They can come in the morning, they can come in the afternoon and pet the cats. You don't have to scoop litter, as Deb said. So we just need somebody, if you're good and you say, well, I can do the laundry, because we do go through a lot of laundry with cats. So things like that, we encourage people to come out. Some people aren't allowed to have animals in their homes,
Yeah,
so this kind of fills a void for them.
Right.
You know, one aspect that just off the top of my mind that I think is so beneficial, especially with seniors. Let's say there's a senior that lost their spouse and they're living alone, and you know, it's difficult. Let's say they've been married 30, 40 years and now they're living alone. Talk about adopting a cat or a dog would mean to them, just having companionship and a living soul around where they're not alone, and how much of a difference would that make in their lives?
No, absolutely. I mean, everybody's heard that how your blood pressure is lowered every time you pet a cat. I know I can vouch for it. Whenever I'm having a stressful day, I pet one of my cats, and then it's wonderful. You talk to them, they talk back to you, not in a bad way, in a good way usually. And we like to offer seniors for seniors. We don't necessarily want you to adopt a kitten.
Yeah.
If you're in your 70s. You might be more, better to have an older cat.
That's a good idea.
And they're
Very good
calmer.
idea. Yeah.
And they're not, chances are they might not outlive you.
Right.
But, it's something that you
Right.
have to think of. If you're going to have an animal, it's good to have a backup. If
Okay.
something's going to, if you're elderly,
Right.
even if you're living alone, it doesn't matter how old you are,
Yeah.
always have a backup so the
Companion.
cat doesn't end up on the street.
Yeah, and also, pets are just the best therapy. Rocco and I got very friendly with a dear friend, Jackie Shelley, who went through one of the worst tragedies anyone can ever imagine, when her teenage son took his own life when he was a senior at Long Beach High School. And months later, Jackie and her husband adopted a service dog, and the dog has just brought so much love. I mean, the feeling of hurt and devastation of losing the son will never go away, but the dog, that adorable, sweet dog, has brought so much love into their life and has made such a difference. So a lot of people who go through loss, adopting a pet, a rescue, it's just a wonderful therapy.
Absolutely. Also, people who have skills, who have run organizations, people who have those kind of skills, we have a lot of initiatives going on. And somebody could lead up an initiative and just take that over. We would like to get the word out. What happens to your animal if something happens to you?
Right.
So emergency directives, and that can be, we'd love to get somebody who wants to take that on. So there are so many ways, and yes, the fulfillment that on every level.
Right.
A lot of people, though, for whatever reason, can't have their own animals, and this does fill their need to just even come by and just sit with a cat.
Okay. Now, let us tell people how to get in touch with you. I mean, we do want to make this work. We don't want to leave it vague. So tell us about your organization, a website, a phone number, any way that they can get in touch with you if they do want to volunteer, because I do believe you're going to be getting some phone calls.
The best way to reach us is by our email, which is givemeshelterproject@gmail.com. And yeah, it's on there. We do have a phone number, but we need staffing for our phone. So we need people who will handle our phone calls, which come in as messages. And if somebody said, I'll take 2 a week, great. We need people who will handle our emails, so email's the best way for us.
Do you have a phone number you can provide?
I can.
Okay.
We hate that because we can't handle it.
You can't handle
All
the
right,
phone calls.
but, another point I want to make is, in today's society, I just have a very good friend who just is retiring as a school teacher from the Jericho School District, which, by the way, and I'm going to invite some former students who sang an a cappella group from Jericho High School on the show. And you know why I want to bring them back, Mary? You have any idea?
No.
The reason I'm going to bring them on the show is, and this is really cool and really prestigious, Jericho High School was just named the #1 school district in the entire country.
Wow.
So I thought it was really cool to have them on the show, but this friend who just retired, she's in her like mid-50s. And think about it, today's day and age, people living a long, long time. So if someone retires as, like, for instance, a school teacher, and you could be in your mid-50s, your lifespan could go another 30, 40 years. So volunteering, I mean, what are you going to do, sit and watch TV all day? Volunteering is critical
Right.
for, making a difference.
Okay. It really is. You have something else?
I just wanted to add,
Sure.
I forgot all about the importance of fostering. So if anybody out there wants to foster, oh my God, there's fostering to get cats ready to be adopted. So that's a tremendous need and a way of having a cat and not having it permanently if you don't want it.
Okay. Do you have any other, is there a Facebook page or any other, where would they look for that?
Give Me Shelter Project.
Okay, great, on Facebook as well. Okay, I think this was a great panel. I think thank you so much for your insight and your experience, and to let us know at any age, especially seniors, especially if you're isolated, especially if you have a skill and a love and a passion, that you can put it into volunteering and help yourself and help others as well.
I just want to add that Lou is a great guy, and I just want to say, Mary, that I should be complimented because Lou is a diehard Yankee fan, and I didn't mention to him that he must be very sad that the Red Sox have beaten up on the Yankees 3 games in a row. But I won't mention that to Lou, and I'll be nice about it. So. But anyway, we want to thank Lou, Deb, and Sue. Awesome panel. Mary stepped up. Great segment. Volunteer folks and support this great organization, and they need help, they need volunteers, and folks, if you're out there in your 50s and 60s, don't sit around the house and watch TV. Volunteer, get involved in your community.